What's up, guys? Justin here with our garage sale pickups from this last weekend, and it was a decent weekend. We got some good deals, missed out on one or two, the usual, I suppose, but I'll start out with what we found on Friday. Friday was kind of a confusing day for garage sailing. There was like 4 or 5 sales that were starting in the morning at like 8 or 9 o'clock when they normally start, but then there was another like 5 or 6 sales that were actually starting much later in the day. Like the earliest one was at 1 p.m. There was one at 3, 4, 5, and 6, I believe, as well. So there was just as many sales later in the day as there was in the morning, and we didn't have a whole lot of luck on Friday morning. One of the earlier sales we stopped at, we were walking up there, and I recognized the house as a sale that we end up at least one time a year, usually more than once a year, and we never realized that, oh, it's that house that will never have any video games until we're already walking up there. But we walked up there, and surprisingly, in the back of this lady's garage, there was a PlayStation 1 Slim system and game bundle. It was just a small stack of games, and there was really only 1 or 2 games that caught my eye. They were asking $35 for the whole bundle, though, so obviously I wasn't going to buy that, but I took the 2 games that I wanted up to the lady and asked if she would sell them individually, and she told me no, that they were looking to sell it all as a bundle. Well, obviously I knew they weren't going to sell for $35. That was a pretty outrageous price, so I said, you know what, if we're in this area tomorrow again while the sale's going on, we'll just stop back and see if we can get it a little cheaper. So we had to walk away from that, unfortunately, but at the last sale we stopped at on Friday morning, it was honestly our best lead for the day. They had advertised electronic games, and I know that doesn't sound very promising or anything, but that was honestly the best lead we had for the day, and it turned out alright. We walked up there and they actually had a PlayStation 2 fat system here with a couple controllers. It had just the power cord, no AV cord, but I've got extras of those, and it actually also came with the DVD remote and the sensor, which was kind of cool. The system was marked for $20, and they actually had some games next to it, a stack of games here that they were selling for $1 a piece. I think there's probably like 10 or 11 games, so I asked if I bought the system and all the games if they do $25, and they were more than happy to do that. So none of these games are anything special, honestly, but they're all in really, really nice shape, especially for a garage sale. I mean, all the cases are still glossy and everything. They're all complete and in great shape. So I'll just go through these quickly. We got the Polar Express, Rocket Power, Beach Bandits, Dance Dance Revolution Supernova, Monsters Inc., Rugrats Royal Ransom, which I just recently picked up for the GameCube, I believe. We got Dance Dance Revolution Extreme 2, SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom, Greatest Hits, The Incredibles, SpongeBob SquarePants Revenge of the Flying Dutchman, and they also had a few PlayStation 1 games as well. We got Bratz, Dress Up, Get Down, and Be a Bratz Superstar. Cannot wait to try that one out later. We got Miss Pac-Man Maze Madness, and a Greatest Hits Crash Bash. So all that for $25. I thought it was a pretty decent deal. Definitely saved the morning. And like I said, all these games are in really, really nice shape, even though the titles are nothing spectacular. So that was all we found on Friday morning. Now, obviously, we wanted to hit up some of the sales later in the day. I was hanging out with Ryan at his place for a bit. Actually, on the way there, I stopped at one of the sales, and I got there a little bit earlier than they were opening. They were still setting up and stuff, but I asked the guy there about video games, and he brought me out some Wii games, and it was like Tony Hawk Shred. I think he had the board with it, too. It was like, and then there was a Shaun White game, and the only good one he had was he had New Super Mario Bros. And so I asked him how much he wanted for that one, and he told me that he'd have to get quite a bit of money for it because he already had it listed on eBay, and it had bids on it for like $15. So I don't know why he even thought to bring that out to me and show it to me if he was already obligated to sell it to someone who had bid on it on eBay. But needless to say, I walked away from that sale empty-handed. But actually, a little later in the day, I was on my way to one of the other later sales, and I drove by a sign for a sale that I thought was only going to be tomorrow or the next day on Saturday, and it was the main sale we were looking forward to going to on Saturday because it had advertised a Nintendo DS and games. They also said they had some Wii stuff, so we were really excited to go to that one on Saturday. But I look at the sign and it said, you know, that it had the address for that sale. It said Friday and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And I mean, I look down, I look at my phone, it's like 3:30, and I'm just like, great. You know, obviously, had I known the sale would have been that day, I would have went and picked up the DS, but I was like, there's no way it's going to still be there if they've been open all day. So I took a quick turn and rushed down to that sale, and of course, the DS system was gone. I think they had sold it for like $15 or something, too, so definitely missed out on that. They had, you know, some games there and stuff. They were all $5, though, and they were just really, really cheap kids' games. They had like Wii Fit, I think, for the Wii in the box and everything for like $10, but didn't end up grabbing anything from that sale, so it's kind of disappointing that, you know, the main sale we were looking forward to going to the next day, you know, ended up being a total bust. But later that day, I did get my redemption at the 6 p.m. sale. I believe it was pretty much in my neighborhood, so I really had no excuse not to go, even though it didn't look like it was going to be a very good sale at all. But I walked up there, I was like the first person there. Obviously, there wasn't a whole lot of people there starting at 6 p.m., but I walk up there and I found a blue DS Lite in the box for, as you can see, the sticker's upside down, but $10. So definitely got my redemption from earlier in the day, missing out on that DS, and also got my redemption from last week when that reseller guy pretty much took that DS Lite out of my hands and bought it. But that was a pink one, and I got myself a very nice looking blue system here. I'm actually amazed at the condition of this thing, because I know it was an adult owner. Everything. One of the girls at the sale was a younger girl, and she was selling it. So she must have only played this a couple times. There's just seriously a couple fingerprints on the screen, and that's it. I was very happy with the condition of that, and it came with the charger here, still in the baggie and everything. And I'm actually thinking I'm going to keep this system. I've really been looking to upgrade to a DS Lite system lately. I do have the original DS system that I bought from, I think, Walmart back when they were newer, and I kept the box and all the paperwork and everything, so I didn't really want to upgrade to a DS Lite, just a loose system. I wanted to make sure I got a box DS Lite. I don't think this one has like the paperwork or anything in there, but this will work for now. I've just really been looking for a DS Lite because I think on a couple of our road trips I brought my original DS with me to play in the car, and I was honestly having trouble seeing the screen, so I just figured might as well just get a DS Lite and avoid that problem from now on. So I might be getting rid of my original one, haven't really decided yet, but I was very happy to pick that up for $10, get some redemption. Anyway, though, that was all we found for Friday. Moving on to Saturday. Saturday was a little bit more of a normal garage selling day. Like all the sales were actually starting at 8 or 9 o'clock. There was a couple that started at 10, I believe. And we honestly didn't have any luck at all. Ryan picked up a bookshelf, really nice CD bookshelf for like $5, I think he paid for it, so he was pretty excited about that. But we didn't find anything video game related. So we were on the way home. We were kind of over by that PS1 Slim sale that we had seen the previous day, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to walk back up there and see if they haven't lowered the price at all. So I walked back there, sure enough, sitting right where it was the day before. It didn't look like anyone had even touched it. Only this time, the price tag was gone. There was no longer a $35 price sticker on it. So I walked up to the guy that was running the sale now, and I asked how much he was looking to get for the PlayStation. He said $15 for everything. Obviously, a significant decrease from the $35 they were asking the previous day. But I offered $10, and he was happy to take that. So ended up with the PlayStation Slim bundle after all. Not for $35, for $10. And there was some other stuff in this box too, but here's the system here. It's a little bit dirty, but I can clean off the top. It had 2 memory cards in it. I think this one's first party, and this one looks like a performance one. And it had power cord for it in here. There's an AV cable in here mixed in. All these are all tangled up, so I'll just show them quickly. A couple controllers. Actually, one really cool looking controller. A clear Sony brand PlayStation controller. I've never seen this one before. Really hoping it works because it looks really cool. I don't know if there's like lights or anything in here. That'd be cool if there was. I don't think there is though. But I was definitely happy to get that controller. And it also came with a PlayStation 2 controller as well. And then it had this thing in here, this like a Pelican, I believe, AV switcher, which would be pretty cool. It's got like all the system names up there too, like PS2, Xbox, DVD, VCR, other. So you can tell it is pretty old school. It's kind of weird that it actually requires its own power adapter. So I don't think I'm going to really have a use for this. I've got 3 other AV switchers that don't require their own power adapter that are a lot more convenient to use. So I don't know, it was just kind of a bonus in there. And then the stack of games here, like I said, there's only 1 or 2 in here that caught my eye. Some of these are Barbie games. Barbie Race and Ride, no manual, cracked case. Greatest Hits, Tony Hawk 4, no manual. A Bug's Life, no manual. Disney Kindergarten Learning, ages 4 through 6. Another one I'm going to have to pop in later and give that one a try. We got, this is one of the ones that I brought up to the lady the previous day, Tomb Raider 3. It is Greatest Hits, but honestly this is one of the better games in here. We got an empty case for the original Tomb Raider, no disc. I don't believe it's in the system. No game in the system. But the other one, the best one by far, was Alundra 2. I just picked this one up for Ryan at one of the Pawn Americas we were at when we were down in Wisconsin. Now, it is missing the manual, unfortunately, but the one game disc is back here, and I believe it's actually in really nice shape. So I was, obviously excited to pay $10 for that, especially seeing as they had it priced at $35. I mean, no one was going to obviously pay $35 for that system and this very mediocre stack of games, if you will. But I was happy to get it for $10, and that was honestly all we found on Saturday. So if it hadn't been for that, we wouldn't have found anything. But I was very happy that I thought to go back to that sale. So that was all I had to show for this video. Like I said, not the biggest garage selling weekend by any means, but I think we got some pretty good deals. So I want to thank you guys for watching the whole video, and until next time, take care.